The scent of old stone and ink hit me the second I stepped into the council hall. War always smelled the same, desperation hiding behind polished manners. But this time, I wasn't here to beg for resources or fight for a cause. I was the resource. My name was whispered across packs like a warning and a prayer. Barbara Konnor, strategist, field commander, and the woman who trained herself into a fucking weapon after being discarded like a failed Luna. You called, I said, giving the gathered elders a cool, expectant look. So let's not waste time. Counselor Mira spoke first. Thank you for coming, Miss Konnor. If they take this pack, they'll have a corridor straight through the Eastlands. So whose pack am I saving? I asked. The side doors opened, and I felt it before I saw him. My wolf stirred under my skin, like lightning without thunder. The man who entered was taller than I remembered, broader. Those same hazel eyes like sunlight behind storm clouds. He walked like war was stitched into his spine. My mouth went dry. Alastor fucking Campbell. Alpha of the Moonridge pack. My ex. My mate. The one I gave myself to, completely, unconditionally. And then he rejected me. 1 day later. No warning. No explanation. The reason I left home and carved myself into a weapon. He was standing in front of me, looking at me like I was a ghost. I straightened my spine and let my voice go cold. Alpha Campbell. What a surprise. Barbara, he said, soft. Reverent. It's Miss Konnor now, I replied, chin high. I turned to the council. Give me the full command. Your maps. Access to your scouts. And I'll win this war for you. Alastor stepped forward. No. This is my pack. I won't hand over complete control to an outsider, even if she has a reputation. I understand war, Alpha Campbell, I snapped, and his name came out like poison. And I understand rogue strategy better than anyone else in this room. Including you. Our eyes locked. The air went razor-edged. You'll work together, Counselor Jones cleared his throat. Together. I repeated, lips curling in a humorless smile. This should be fun. By the time the sun crested over Moonridge's stone walls, my team arrived. Clara, Maria, August, Ronan, and Roy. The moment his eyes landed on me, Roy lit up like a damn sunrise. Boss, he called, breaking into a jog. Anything you need, boss. You know that. His smile lingered, longer than it should have. He'd been into me for months, then I felt it, the burn. Hot gaze. Jaw like carved stone. Alastor was standing at the edge of the training field, his entire body tense. Let him feel it. Let him watch what it looked like when someone didn't throw me away like I was nothing. Roy kept his eyes on me. I brought the maps and that intel breakdown. I can walk you through it now if you want. I'd like to see it too. Alastor cut in, voice smooth and sharp all at once. He stopped just beside me, his body heat kissing the side of mine. I'm sure she's capable of reading it herself, Alastor said evenly, but his tone was sharp enough to slice through bone. I turned to my team. Meet me in the guard HQ in 20. We move fast. We don't wait for permission. Roy leaned in slightly again. Want help setting anything up in there? Before I could speak, Alastor answered for me. She's fine. Roy held my gaze a second longer before peeling off. When we were alone, I tilted my head. Jealous, Alpha. His hazel eyes locked onto mine, unreadable but burning. Everything in his face screamed yes. I held the stare a beat longer than I should have, then turned my back on him and walked away. The layout of the Moonridge packhouse hadn't changed. The same stone floors. The same arching ceilings. Once upon a time, I'd walked these halls hand in hand with a boy I loved. The Luna dreams died that day, but I didn't. I burned. And from that fire, I made myself into something stronger. I walked into the war room. The guards already stationed inside looked up, and recognition flickered across several faces. The way they whispered my name, Barbara, was awe. I was supposed to be their Luna. And now I was back, called to save them. Let's get started, I said, all steel. My map glowed on the far wall. This is our current perimeter. Rogues are fast, but they tend to test outer defenses in waves of 3. They're trying to weaken us. I could feel Alastor watching me from the back. Not interrupting. Just studying me. We block the ridgeline here, Ronan said, placing physical markers on a 3D terrain board. Leave a decoy caravan. And when they go for it, I finished. We hit them from both sides. Pincer formation. No way out. Alastor stepped forward. Effective. You've clearly done your research. I met his eyes. That's why the council brought me. Tonight, you rest, I told the room. We hit hard at dawn. No mistakes. No mercy. Later, a knock startled me in my quarters. I froze when I saw her in the doorway. Tracy grinned. You gonna stand there or hug me, you ice queen? I launched into a hug. Tracy was Moonridge's head medic now. I didn't think you'd ever come back, she said softly. I didn't think I would either, I admitted. Then she asked, careful, and him? He still hasn't taken a Luna. Not in 6 years. Not even courted anyone. You know that, right? I swallowed hard. My wolf stirred. Doesn't matter? He rejected me. He made his choice. I woke before the sun. I dressed in silence, strapping on layers of tactical armor and sleek black fabric. I laid my weapons on the table, my daggers, my guns. But when I reached for the last one, my favorite, I felt the shift in the air. His presence filled the room. Just as my fingers brushed the hilt, his hand covered mine. I froze. You still have this. His voice was low, broken, soft with something I didn't want to name. The blade was old, hand-forged by him when we were 16. You should never go to war without something that knows you, he had told me. I didn't keep it because of you, I lied, still not looking at him. It's a good blade. Balanced. Reliable. His hand didn't move. His thumb brushed my knuckle. The bond crackled between us, alive. I finally looked at him. His hazel eyes met mine, and gods, it was like drowning. I like seeing you in that uniform again, he murmured. It fits. Because it was made for me, I said coolly. This pack just forgot. No, he said, stepping closer. I never forgot. Our hands were still touching. The years between us vanished in a breath. I yanked my hand back and strapped the blade to my thigh. There's a war in 5 hours. Save your flirting for someone who didn't have to rebuild herself from the floor up. Barbara, it's Miss Konnor, now, I snapped. I walked into the humming war room, taking command of the main map table without hesitation. Otto, I said, spotting the silver-haired man. You still running the outer wall? The old head of the guard turned. Barbara. Or I suppose it's boss now. You always were the best damn thing this unit ever had. It's good to have you back. I turned back to the maps. This is what we're dealing with. These rogue units aren't random. They're converging here. We'll let them think they've trapped us, then spring the real assault from behind. I nodded once. We move at first light. Swift. No signals until I call the turn. It's not about fighting harder. It's about fighting smarter.